High-end prison breaks often adopt unexpected ways. The prison guard brings meals to the prisoner. Annie looked at the spoon and the meal, immediately thought of a way to escape prison. After the prison guard left, Annie started to dig a hole in the wall with the spoon. She was very happy in heart. It is very arduous. The wall can still be dug. In order to avoid being discovered by the prison guard, she tore off the paper from the book. And after the paper was soaked in water, then cover the soil on the wall on the surface of the paper so that the color of the paper is the same as that of the wall. Then use this paper to cover the hole to deceive others. Because the prison is built in a location surrounded by water, there is a strong wind all year round. Annie will throw the soil dug from the wall down bit by bit from the window. Let the soil slowly drift away with the wind. Annie knew that such a prison break was a long-term plan. In order to gain more time to dig the wall, Annie used the excuse of reading in the cell to apply to the prison guard to cancel the playground activity. In order to speed up the digging speed, Annie collected the soup and the meal, and then applied it evenly on the hole. The salt in the soup will corrode the wall, and the soil will be easier to be dug down. Annie dug a 60-meter-long tunnel in half a year according to this method. Everything is ready. The prosecutor came to inspect the prison on this day. Annie saw that the opportunity had come. She knew that in order to welcome the superior to come and guide the work, the prison held a performance activity. She took the opportunity of the large number of people to quickly walk out of the cell because she hadn't come out to exercise for half a year. The prisoners on the playground didn't know her. No one noticed her movement at all. This is the effect that Annie wants. At this time, everyone was watching the performance of the female prisoners. Annie slowly moved towards the officer's car, and then she quickly hid under the car. At this point, the prison guard provided the meal to Annie exactly on time, knocked on the door but didn't hear a response. The prison guard felt something was wrong and immediately went into the cell to check. Annie had already disappeared without a trace. He immediately sounded the alarm. The prison was in chaos instantly. In order to ensure the safety of the superior, the prison guard immediately escorted the superior to get in the car and evacuate. However, Annie had already been hanging under the bottom of the car. When the warden returned to his cell, he berated the prison guards. He angrily picked up the book on the bed and threw it at the wall. Unexpectedly, it just broke the paper covering the hole. The warden pulled open the paper of the hole, found that this is a tunnel. They concluded that Annie escaped through the tunnel, so they immediately invited the detective to come and investigate. The detective climbed into the tunnel with a flashlight. He slowly moved forward. Because the tunnel is relatively steep, the detective slipped and directly slipped to the end of the tunnel. The detective found that this tunnel was a dead end, so he asked the prison guard to pull himself back with a rope. The detective found the worn-out spoon in the cell. He concluded that this was Annie's tool for digging the tunnel. The prison guard didn't quite believe that the spoon couldn't dig so fast. The detective bounced the soil into the prison guard's mouth. The detective explained. Annie employed the salt within the meal soup to erode the wall and quicken the digging pace, and the soil that was dug out was blown away by the wind. The detective saw Annie's intention. She made use of the officer's car to escape from the prison. The purpose of Annie digging this tunnel is to distract the attention of the prison guards when they climbed in to confirm that this tunnel was a dead end. Time has passed for 25 minutes, and these 25 minutes were sufficient for Annie to make use of the superior's car to flee the prison.